All right. Welcome, welcome. How are you guys today? All right. Now, if you were paying attention to the marketplace for today, um, and I'm looking at some of my favorite assets in these few videos here. Oof, still getting killed, man. But long story short, I just posted some reels about GJ. And I wanted to go over the trade review for like it's London open right now, but um for example, like currently, okay, GJ is like one of my favorite assets, and I'll tell you guys why again. Only because like if you're used to trading like EU, GU, um, and majority of these assets that are like, really popular, these are really great because they do have consistent movement in a way. But what I like a lot better is GJ is what we call, I mean, you could Google this. It's literally called the Beast. But um when you look at certain price action, right? And my bad, let me hit the wood real quick. Uh we went to a new dispensary today. And I'm smoking some wedding cake from I don't even know what grower this is. Simply Herb? Huh. We'll have to look more into them. But they do have some nice flour, I will say. Now, what I'm saying is, well, number one, before I get started, this weed tastes like it tastes like Oreos. Like I can't really explain it. Like the last time that we talked on, like what I was smoking, it tastes like Swedish fish. But now this is like Oreo. Hold on. Yeah, it literally smells like an ice cream sandwich, which is crazy. So I'm having a lot of fun with this strain. But long story short, as you can see, um, we caught like a really clean move here. Um, about 55 or so pips. Me personally that I caught, but I got to chill about here. Now, me personally, people ask me like, "Yo, why didn't you stay longer, or why didn't you get the very bottom?" Simple answer: I hit the target. I hit my target. And why do you think it's retracing with me not in it? Because I hit the target. People have to understand that like when you meet a major target, right? And I mean, I'll show you exactly what happened, but when you make it to a major liquidity spot, you need to be done or at least take parcels or something. So if we're expecting it to go lower, that's fine. And on top of that, I mean, I could probably even find a breaker somewhere. And then if it needs to go lower, I can enter again off the breaker if I need to. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what we saw already, okay? And why I took this trade. All right. So we're going to pop up to a 15 again. I just wanted to show you like the five here, but watch. Now, number one, before I do anything, is Tybe, okay? I'm gonna let you in on a small secret. Now, it's not even like a really a secret, but it's just not like super widely talked about, or at least that I've seen. Um, but when you're on, for example, EU or GU, right? Notice how ICT talks about, hey, like trade these. These are easier because some of the functions are more aligned or helpful if you're trading according to New York time. But when you're trading like the yen pairs, or any of the exotics, right? I tell you all the time about how London can give you like an easy, clear, like high or low of the day. And so this is accurate. For NQ, it's like an hour off, but for um my sessions indicator, it's perfect for when I'm on forex. So this green section is always it's going to be perfect. It's like really 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So obviously it's like 3:30 right now, me doing this video. But when we're looking at this narrative here, right, and what caused me to take a move here, I want you to notice something, okay? Now, you notice that like it doesn't do it often, but GJ can have these like really weird spots where it makes these highs. And it's also not afraid to make high or low of the day actually in Asia. Does that make sense? So like normally USD based pairs, right, will make the high low of the day in London, and Asia just gets demolished, right? Okay, I was trying to figure out what to watch it. I low key want to watch a movie, but like um I kind of want to watch Dragon Ball Z. Not gonna lie, just because I've been watching or playing a lot of like Black Myth Wukong, and he's Goku, so I've just been really interested in a lot of like Dragon Ball Z shit. But when I'm watching GJ, right, it's not impossible for it to give you like a high of the day in Asia or a low of the day in Asia to attack the other side of the liquidity, no problem. But what I'm saying is, and why I'm expecting it to be an intraday trade, not for me to stay all fucking day, right? Is because I notice how we have this high up here. We come down and we do make perfect sell side liquidity. Uh, but the problem is, okay, and that's why I said like it's really about being creative because you have to understand why and how we talk about objectives in these market reviews. So me doing one thing at a time is the reason why I'm successful. So watch. I came up here and I'll just give you some gold backstory. All right. Look how clean this is, right? Now I did this without the gold back levels first, and I'll get to the 81 and how I swept. But number one, you see how like previous day's high was taken? Yeah. Now we're already like not like back there 50% or anything, but we are, back inside of the range at least. So like between this high and this low, right? And like I said, Asia can easily produce a high low of the day on a Japanese yen pair, and I like that. It works a little better if you have like a weird schedule or your work schedule to trade is like not as consistent, or you can't be up for London or early New York because you might have to be somewhere at 8 9 o'clock. This is really really good to come in and trade Asia. Really makes a good asset for that because you can hold for Asia through London and it not be a problem. Dude, this weed's really nice. Anyway, the biggest thing is being above or below a high of the day at a certain time of the day is so key here, and it's easy. I tell you all the time, like what time I'm expecting something. If I'm using kill zones or whatever, right? Now I'm gonna be honest, I probably should let that run it, right? Hmm. But no worries. The biggest thing is when we're looking at like a kill zone, right? And the reason why I keep switching through time frames a certain way is because I'm looking at my point of view. When we talk about PD arrays, right, they're time frame specific. So that means if there's like a fair value gap in here somewhere, I might not be able to see it necessarily off rip just because it might be a 30 minute, hour, imbalance, right? So like there's one imbalance up here that I really liked up here. Now you notice this, right? Watch. We'll bring that back in a moment. Now look how clean this is. You see what I mean? You see how clean it is. However you look at it, you can't tell me you need to buy this. Some people might get confused because there's a huge fair value gap in the fair value gap partition, and you do rebalance that. And I will be honest, we are bullish on GJ on the higher time frame. We are. But this is why I give you these market reviews and we talk on objectives. So all the rest of it is objective. Dude, I have like constantly eating edibles for about 2 days nonstop. And dude, I feel like I'm in the fucking matrix right now, is what I'm realizing. It's like today was such a strange day. Like it doesn't even almost feel real at this point. I know this episode is like super meta, but like what I'm saying is when I popped on and I traded GJ, right? Because dude, when I tell you I'm going like the wind right now, it just doesn't sound like it. But like realistically, the edibles plus I got the some new concentrates, and it's similar to like a it's similar to like a distillate, but it's solventless, which is kind of awkward. And so I guess however it's made, you're still able to, you know, smoke it, eat it, dab it, like it's all purpose, right? Which made me think of like why like it should be distillate, right? But I'm like, apparently it's not a distillate. I'll have to figure out like what they used. Uh, but if it's solventless, it's solventless. So that's kind of crazy to me. Anyway, put that on the blunts today. Put that on some cookies, bro. I've been melting since 5 o'clock p.m. and it's 3 a.m. And so the biggest thing about this right here, okay, is obviously you notice the reaction from the 81 EXT level. It came up, and you really want to see this like deeply consolidate. Not for a very long time, but you want us to deeply consolidate just enough to where you can see that it's a stop run. Okay. Now, mind you, all right, notice how I talk about this here. All right, I'm gonna give you 2 points. All right. Now, number one, the failure to come up here to the high the first time yesterday. All right, right here. You also have a failure to come up to the high again here again. Now, remember what I just said about GJ. It's actually bullish on the higher time frame. So are we surprised that we're going and getting a retracement right at a London low? No. I actually should have just bought that, but I'm taking time to speak to you guys, so I wasn't too focused on looking for the next move yet. So the biggest thing here is we're noticing why I took the sell first. We're above previous day's high inside of the kill zone. So I'll just switch this so you guys are not confused. But long story short, um, we're looking for 2 to 5 a.m., right? Create the next move. Okay. This is what I mean here about smaller versus bigger objectives. So if I'm saying that GJ is bullish and I always mark 2 to 5 kill zone, right? This would clearly be of interest to anybody. Beautiful move. And what is this in reality? Watch this. Now, before I tell you that I'm expecting it literally back where it came from, obviously. And if you are a long-term viewer for the past month, you should know what this is. Now, we talked about it very briefly in a few videos, but you should know what this is, and I'll give it to you in a second, but I'll let you see how it develops first. This should be of interest to you how I just drew that. Now, now, this is how you guys need to learn how to max out as well. Whether you're on a prop firm, whether you're on a personal account, you guys need to understand market structure and what it's doing. The same way that I just said, oh, you know what? It's quick. You have to understand algorithms. Is it algo 1 or algo 2? I taught you guys that algo 1 or algo 2 is just simply how it goes through a dealing range from A to B or from A to B. And I'm telling you where I'm expecting it, right? So realistically, see all this here? The way it actually goes through this dealing range is really, really good for traders who are not just understanding of the algorithm, but the price action itself is clean. It's very consistent candles. It moves down swiftly. It doesn't take long to complete, not at all. And I'm still within the kill zone, 2 to 5. So this offering me one, looks like two moves, but realistically, it's really one algo. And like I said, when price is not really sell side, it's going to be macro bullish. You're going to give or be met with, I'll say, market maker buy model easily like this. So can I actually wait for this to give a little retracement and buy it up? Sure, no problem. I know where it's going. How do we know it's algo 1 real quick? And like I said, we're going to bring this back. Okay. Now watch. Now, this is typically scary to anybody only because they're not understanding when the algos start, when they stop. But if the algos are from high or low or the rejection block, they start at specific spots. And so if you really peep the levels, right? And I'm on the 5 minute, but let's bring it down to the 3. Now watch. You notice how this gap goes from EXT down to your order block. It gives you a fair value gap, a fractal fair value gap, and it comes down aggressively. Now there's hella sell side liquidity that I aimed for, and you can see that. Get rid of this. So you see it? Clear, right? Now, my whole point is when you're looking for algos, just understand that the way price goes through a daily range is you need to watch the pathways. So that means, for example, and why I sold it, imbalance coming from EXT level, I'm in a premium. I have sell side targets here. And I did have short-term sell side liquidity even near me, what we call low-hanging fruit, which is basically like right near the target, and it offers you like clean liquidity. So even when you know you're in this area, you know the move's about to start. And so you're right at a high, you go down, and this is what I call my me personally, I don't care what nobody calls it else, this is what I call it. I call it the when I first started to teach myself, I call it the doctor trap and retracement. So like DR trap, doctor, DR, daily range. I know it's a joke, not a very good one. But realistically, it goes down into your dealing range and it retraces down into your dealing range a little bit, retraces. All this is just giving you more sell side liquidity so that you can then go downward. And also, this is provided to you by the liquidity void. You know what I'm saying? And again, if this is a fair value gap, like I said, you always see this attached to this fair value level somewhere. But it might not be the 81 how you're looking at it. It might be fractal on your 27 or your 9. Now, I can go down there and check it out, but that's not what we're using right now. The 81 was my wireframe. Now, I understood that this could go down. And now when you see the TP only to here, it's only because I was using the 27 to take my profits underneath these lows, where it was most abundant on the 27 versus my liquidity. Now, what I'm saying is the breakdown from, that's 1 minute. This is where I got comfortable. Okay. So right here, right? Now I saw this imbalance already. Now I wasn't active until like about here. So I'm doing all my analysis and I'm watching price come to an agreement. And when I'm watching all this, I'm on the higher time frame. So when I'm starting to see this come down, I'm like, well, we're bullish, but I have a daily target. But I'm also seeing how we're getting close to a kill zone. And I want to see this, or we're in the kill zone now, but I really want to see this start to move. So I down my targets and notice that we are on the 81 high like that. So right when it's dipped down, and as soon as we got near the fair value gap, now me personally, I want the liquidity void. Secret hack, right? You want your entry hacks to be crazy? Try it in the liquidity void spot. Try your entry hack that I gave you on the liquidity void. I guarantee you're gonna have some interesting results. Now it takes some time to practice it because it takes a few of these to get used to it. But realistically, liquidity void is a non-lethargic level. Produces these types of things. Really, really big candles like that. And also, again, look at this. If you were talking about entry hacks, right? This is what I mean. If you're in a liquidity void level, right? Let's get rid of all this stuff. If you're in a liquidity void level, now watch. You could do it on a slightly higher time frame if you need to, but you can go and find root candles. You can go and find all sorts of shit. So look at that right there. See that? Now I'm bullish on the higher time frame, so I'm not looking to take another sell. And also, I just told you that it's a market maker buy model. And why do we know this? Because of the pathway that it takes. Okay. Notice how if it was algo 2, it'd be rejection block, breaker, fair value gap, which would be like this. It would be rejection block, right? It will go down to the breaker, gives you a gap on the way. This would be a fair value gap here, and it would like essentially go from rejection block, breaker, fair value gap, and then down. Now, notice, right? It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. It does not do that. You go from EXT level up here down, does some lower time frame fair value gap order block combo up in this area, gives you a consolidation, and then pops down. And so once you start looking at this, right? Watch. Now back to the 3 minute. Now actually no, let's do 2 minutes. Let's go right in between actually. Yeah, this is good. This is why I like this. And the reason why I say certain things like that is over time, um, you'll involuntarily get used to looking for structure, but the way you're trying to do it is you know that it's around a certain smaller or higher time frame. You don't know which one it is. Let's say it's fair value gap. For example, you might have a certain fair value gap on a certain time frame. On the 2 minute, doesn't look like it. Could be 1 minute, could be 3 minute, could be 4 or 5. And same thing with this gap here. You see how this is a clear 2 minute fair value gap? It looks way clean on that. You can see it on the 1, you can see it on 3, but that's up to you to refine structure and get the best possible one that you can find. And like I said, price is not bearish, bullish. And like I said, where are we going to expect it? And let's put in your pathway so you know exactly why I'm expecting it there. So cheat sheet, you have that available to you. And it's funny because my students in my Discord, they love the cheat sheet. It's really helpful. So like for example, if we're talking about high, and like I said, look at all these order blocks, order block area. All right. Now what's next? Opposite breaker. Now, opposite breaker, we got some clear single movement through it right there. And then we're going to look for what? Now, the algo 1 curve can come to you in a few different ways. I'll explain in a moment. But let's watch this here. Rejection block. Then you got fair value. Okay. It does create a gap here. All right. And then look, liquidity void. So technically, this is the last part to your partition, or your algo rather. And so liquidity void being the last one on either one of the algos, what do you think this is likely to do? And what I say about liquidity voids, if they're long candles or long runs or both mixed together, that means these are the larger bodies that you always dreamed of. These are the ones that you want. And so for us watching price so far, you're like, wow, is it really going to go all the way to where he's saying? You tell me. We have all of the algo pathways. High, low, order block, opposite breaker, rejection block, fair value gap, and then you have the liquidity void. And then look at your output. And again, we're on a 2-minute chart. Beautiful, isn't it? It is. You can max out on this. You seeing, and look, right when I saw this halfway through, you know where it's going. It's a full V is algo 1 when it's a market maker buy model. It's clean and clear. Go ahead. Think I'm wrong. Go ahead. You'll find it up here eventually. No matter how far this falls, even if it takes out liquidity here, it's going to go back up. And now you see it actually tried to give you a bullish breaker in this area too. You can see it. Notice how we're coming off the breaker. Now, it's not in the pathway, but what you notice how even when you have a certain algo, to get to where it's going, it's using these levels as step ladders. So whether it's main or fractal, you'll see how it goes through these levels and works it in there some way inside of the puzzle. Right? Again, where are we expecting it? What did I say about that liquidity void? Insanely long candles or certain runs start from a certain area. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when I took my sell move, all I needed was the fact that I was at a high and a premium and saw this movement down. And so, this being speedy, I knew the liquidity void was taking me down, sinking me, and going down to at least my liquidity that was marked available for me. And I told you guys this before. What does it do every time it gets close to a major target? What does it do? Fakes people out, right? It does all this fake shit. Liquidity here, right? Now watch. We're on a 2 minutes, go down to a 1. Yeah. It does all this seemingly going downward. No, the fuck it's not. And this is so funny to me because like it's once you get to a certain spot you're trading, bro, you don't get scared about things. You understand it. It's as systematic as turning on a light. It really is. When I hit a controller on my PlayStation and my character does a fucking kickflip on session, there's a certain way to do the kickflip. You can do it over and over and over and over and over again, as many times as I want to. It's no different with trading, bro. No different. Gotta understand things. It's not difficult. Now, even me knowing where it is, I actually just scalped that. So I'm in right here. Little gap, right? Let's see if this gap hold. Let's see. Now, we're in a liquidity void. Ready, watch. I'll take you down a lower partition so you can see something. Notice how these highs are shared too. All right. Now, notice I'm on the 27. Watch this. The 27 is obviously 27 times, or 81 is 27 times 3. So that means there are three 27s that we are going through in a row. Now, you need to get in here and start based on how you trade, how you have your base lot size. Come in and figure out how much money you're making per 27, per 81. Take partials accordingly. Now, ready? Low here. Now, you notice why I talked about going from higher partitions to lower partitions and beyond. It's because you're coming down and giving yourself another perspective on what's algorithmic or not, what's in place or not. So, what is this? Why did I trade this? You think I took this just because it's a gap here? No. Gotta be smarter than that. You know me by now. Mitigation block. Come on, stay focused. Now, what does that look like? Mitigation block, mitigation block, mitigation block, mitigation block. Just like that. Now, like I said, there's going to be another smaller objective in here, only because it's trying to build up some liquidity to get up here a little speedy when it's time to do that. So that's why it's going to look scary on the downside for just a little bit. Now, you see how we're on the EQ now, right? Yeah, we call that a major gold back level, right? One of the majors. And here's your mitigation block playing around. It does this a lot too. And look, it'll make anybody feel uncomfortable. Look at that. Oh yeah. Now, regardless, we're still going up to that high. That's the funny part. Okay. Now, mind you, let's check this out. While we wait for that, let's go to a higher time frame. Now, notice the flip, right? People say, Jay, did you take profits? Did you get out? Fuck no, bro. I know where the target is. Let's keep that there and go to the higher time frame. Now, this is what I was saying, right? Regardless how you look at it, GJ's bullish. What did it do? How do we know? We broke a previous high, respected the low. Is it going to come down ridiculously? No. Is it going to be a doji until it's ready to go up again? Yes. But watch, right? When you look at the bulk of this thing, right? You can come in and give yourself. Now, mind you, you could do it the candles by themselves, but just because this is a channel about gold back content, watch this. Now, you tell me, are we bullish or are we bearish? Yeah, you tell me. I wouldn't be a seller down here neither. And the only reason why I'm laughing is because I'm stoned. Well, that and like you notice how a lot of people get confused about direction? It's because they fail to come to a higher time frame and get a real narrative. So when you see this here, everything else aligns. So I'm making sure you can see this. You already have points down here that we've clearly hit the low. You already had a stop run, right? Took out some previous liquidity and made a higher low, trading back upward. Low, higher low. Now watch. All this here, huge purple body. Same thing with this one. Coming off the EQ, which is a major for the 729. Now, just like NASDAQ, I like GJ a lot because it has a lot of volume. These candles are not lethargic and small, bro. These want to go exactly where I need them to go and do it swiftly. So that's why when I talk about EU, GU versus GJ, I actually think GJ is a lot smoother and more consistent, and especially because you can come in and find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6+ day move. Same thing here, right? 729 is really the culprit. Easy. Look at the consolidation here, and it rips down. I'm telling you, bro, you understand GB levels, your money is on unlimited status. You could do anything you would like to do. I'm telling you, take the time here and study. Just take your time. Don't rush the process. Have fun with all this. And you trade. And so you look at this here, right? Same thing with the narrative, right? What did I say about certain things we're looking for, right? Now, 729 makes this look ridiculous, right? So that's why you don't want to be on like the 729 on a fucking 1 minute. It's not going to be of much help. But what is going to be helpful to us, look at this here. Target. See that? So that's why I just wanted to take you to the higher time frame just for a second to show you what I meant about not just the market maker buy model, but why I was looking for a certain narrative, why I sold it first instead of buying it first. You have to keep yourself in order. And I understand that, like, my students say this all the time, but you make it easy when you talk to me about the order. Like when I go and do it myself, it makes it 10 times harder. That's because there's more than one thing that I'm paying attention to at a time. You have to learn to do the same thing. So that's why I can select and avoid to be worried or not about what price is up to, you know? So in a certain area, I don't want you to be worried. I want you to be coming in and saying, you know what? I understand what price is doing. I understand where my fair value gaps are on my 27 if I were to go down to look for it. And look, like I said, bro, got liquidity here. Target. All right. Now watch. We keep doing these liquidity voids. See? Keep doing it. Now, let's see. This is all in the plans. All in my hands. Now, what I'm talking about is this here. Ready? Let's highlight the high here. And then we're going to show you how liquidity voids work in this bitch. All right. Now, notice how we stepped into another liquidity void on the premium, right? Now, watch this. And people get scared only because they don't understand what reaching is. All right. Now, watch. I'll turn this off for a second. You know you're in a liquidity void level. We just looked at it. What does it do? Bitch, you guessed it. You was right. Long as shit candle for a second, right? Now, what did I tell you about targeting? What does it do? It does nothing but give you liquidity to generate, right? Now watch, it does it again. Okay? You're going to get used to this on this channel. Expert narration. And what we're talking about is what basically we call priming, right? So when price comes up and down the way it does, it creates liquidity, gets attacked. Creates liquidity, goes down, gets attacked. How do you know? Why does it do that? It needs to show you, basically give you bookmarks to where it wants to go. And you actually want it to do that when it's bullish. You don't want it to be a straight through process type of move because you're normally met with a retracement. You know what I mean? And so regardless, like same thing right here. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody gets hyped on this right here and thinks it's just gonna go up, 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 up. Nope. You're fucking wrong. Why would these imbalances get ignored? Think about that. Why? Why? There's no point to that. And so it doesn't always have to do it in a row. If it wants to get close enough, just want to spike it. Then it could come down and take some of these other imbalances down here. If it wants to do it and vice versa and take one or two of these before the target, that's totally fine. But it doesn't normally need to do that, and it's going to hit it, right? And you see exactly what I mean. Liquidity void. Show me where I'm wrong. Let me know, bro. Let me know. Who said trading is hard? What you need to understand, market maker buy model. What the fuck did I tell you? Now look, hold on. Hold on. Don't play with me. Oh, well, Jay, it didn't quite get there. Shut the fuck up. It did get there. What did I tell you that it's doing? What did I tell you that it's doing? Here. I'll even stamp it for you. Right? Now, I guess I could take some time to work with my hands as you guys are interested in this little narrative. And so, the funny part is, everybody knows what I'm doing when I say that. I'm talking about work with my hands. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. We hit the target just how Jay talked about. Wow, I wonder why I did that. Shut the fuck up. Oh, man. All right, so we're taking some profits there. We're taking some profits there. Hold on. We gotta get to the other screen. Get to the other iPad. And we're out. Just like that. Now, I probably could have held it, but I don't really want to. But what I'm saying is, the reason why I changed to the hour chart is so you can see that when I jumped into this dealing range, we were already in there. So this right here is nothing but liquidity, right? So I technically could have held that. And again, we're still bullish as fuck. So that's on me for actually not holding that partial right there. Damn. So do you see why you always want to really quick, I'll always give this advice. Always just real quick before you take profits, like zoom out and zoom back in. Just so you can see if there's more targets or not that are available to you. You might not had another one planned for whatever reason, right? Like I have a daily target that I'm going for, but um I can wait for New York to get another door. Now it's only 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's actually still within my time window. I would like to see it now. Watch, I would like to see this really quick. Do a maybe like a breaker. We can get a breaker in this motherfucker. Could do that. Here, I'll show you. It might come down to the back again, but this is what I was saying. If I can get the breaker here, pyramid again. I want the breaker, yeah. I want the breaker. Because if I get the breaker, this might be able to get me in for I want something for days range. So if uh London should be clear low of the day. So I took profits down here. I didn't get the bottom of the buy curve because I didn't realize it was market maker buy model until we got to about 50% of it, right? Then I saw the rest of it. But notice how what I'm saying about this breaker level, right? It's right where I want it to be and the structure is right. So I told you guys this all the time about breakers. So this is how quickly I start thinking, right? So old high, okay, that's this right here. It goes underneath that. It goes up again and back down, and then boom. So essentially, it looks like this, right? But this is, oh shit, this is my thing, right? I need this to be on time a certain way. So I need to get there a certain time. If it doesn't want to hit the breaker, that's fine. I'll let it run without me. I'm not gonna trip. But we made some good profits so far. We caught a little bit of the buy curve and caught the whole sell curve. Mhm. So so far, feeling good. All right. We are gonna check the NASDAQ at some point, but I just wanted to tap in with you guys, looking more at Algo One, looking more at GJ, okay? And I'm probably gonna see if I can get an entry on this thing. Hold up, let's see, can smack it. So I'm looking for, like I said, it's probably gonna come back down anyway. And here we go. See if I can get this breaker. All right, we jumped into the level. Let's see. I'm not taking it yet. Give me a second. I want to see. I want to see a reaction. I want to see an entry hack here. I don't want it right after this large expansion back down, because you see the level it got hit. But here we go. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, but like I said, we're seeing algo one, right? So which is the retracement algo. Like I said, why price was not really bearish, but why I could scalp it, and then why I could buy it safely. And so when you're seeing stuff like this, right, there is a little breaker in this area, right? Breaker level, the candle here caused it to make this old high. Now I want to see it do two things before we take a heavy entry. So we got to see this start to expand a certain way. All right. Now the highs here, complete buy side liquidity. There we go. We got it. We got it. Now we got to be careful here. It could smack down again, but I got to be careful. So I might be able to hold on. I don't watch it. You are in a premium. But so far, it's looking like the breaker because we have these shared highs here. But what I can do, real trap shit. Okay. So that makes it so number one, what we should this way should look like boom. Yes, exactly. There we go. I knew it. That's why I took that breaker as well. You got to understand your go back level. So now that's advanced. I don't want you guys to get confused about that. It's not really hard, but it's more towards advanced on what I'm using as a confluence through the dealing range. So looking at a certain way the level is interacted with time and price. Okay. We're seeing I want to see this takes a nice support, but that's why I said we need a range runner first. So can't take it yet. Need a range runner. And that's what it's all about, patience, bro. Patience. So if this wants to run the level too low and we can't take it, that's fine. But you know the entry hack now. I need two purple ones in a row. None of these I don't give a fuck about. You don't have to have anxiety every time a candle forms. Wait for the level is good, but I need range runner. I need two in a row. I need two of these. So if I get a small doji and a purple one, I can work with that. Or if I get two purple ones in a row, that is what's going to determine what type of size that this trade is taken with. Now look, see, still not ready yet? Perfect. Okay. And that's why we trade manage on the 1 minute, my guy. You don't need to sit there and worry. Go work with your hands how I'm doing right now too. I'm setting up the next wood right now, my guy. We are not about to wait. This wheat's ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. Wheat's crazy. Okay. So now this is good. There we go. Now, notice this candle broke both the high and the low of the previous. Neither one of these did. Now watch this. Just watch it. This is an interesting candle. Candles don't normally do this. Did it here too again? There's a reason why we're talking about this level. You know what I mean? Now, the funny part, watch. Okay. I got it. I got it. Right into the volatility. Bought right into the volatility. So if I have to get out, I can manage it at this root candle here. Now this one's a little quicker because remember I'm using the breaker. So I'm already ready. So I needed this root. Like I said, you see why I expected it a certain way. We broke both sides of this candle. Oh my God, we ripped. All right, hold up. Take it partials, take it partials, take it partials. Take partials, take partials. All right. I got one left. I got one left. Okay. Hold on. Now I took that from the half shift breaker. All right. Now back to regular, see what it looks like. Hold on. I'm looking for 460. Can we get 460? We should be able to. Yep. Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, it's 460 on here too. Yep, same thing. Okay. Yep. 460. All right. Can we get 460? We should be able to. We're in a distribution, by the way. So, like I said, haven't been wrong yet. Not yet. Now, I got one left, so the runner is protected by the root. So, that was a perfect scout right off the 1 minute. Now, fractal breaker doing its job. I'm also in a new dealing range low, so it's likely to have, yeah, a low reaction and whatnot. Also gap, right? So, I just want to see 4 fucking 60, man. But so far, amazing job. I mean, that almost like I almost forgot there was a backwood in my hand. Like that was beautiful. All right, let's see. You guys, watch 460 for me real quick. I gotta go grab. Uh, oh wait, we gotta grab the other flower that I have. One sec. Mm, mm. Okay, so 450, not bad. We got the buy side liquidity, so that was important. Now, I'm saying 460 because the way the stop runs above a target, it's going to go a certain amount of pips as a stop run. So, likely it's going to go a little higher than 460. That's what I want to see. Like me personally. Me personally, I'm smoking two types of gas right here. I'll save this weed for later, actually. Or yeah, majority of that. Okay. Now look at that. Now, you see what I mean, right? Creating liquidity and things like that. But the main idea is we also have a shared high here. If it wants to break down again, it can easily save this for later, but I don't think it should. It's only like 4:15. So there's another 15 minutes of this distribution. So this is exactly why it's starting to get ready for the next cycle, which could easily be it's AMD or yes, it's AMD, I believe, on the session. Yeah. But yeah, I'm so glad you guys can see what we do in the charts main. Okay. And so I got some videos I'm posting in my Discord for my Discord members. Those be out shortly. This one's for the public YouTube, but yeah, that was fun. I will see you guys in the next video.